Those non-playoff people, when I did it, they were at the end of the minute line, and I upped everybody else's minutes.
All right, Vince Carter and Michael Jordan, a couple of Tar Heel alums. Vince was not well received when he was introduced to the crowd moments ago, even with the announcement prefacing the name Vince Carter that he had given up his starting slot.
I'm not sure everybody was ready to hear that little bit that they threw in there all of a sudden after his name. Then the people have recognized now that it will be Michael starting in place of Vince Carter.
And Marv, I think Vince Carter shouldn't have been compelled or pressured. I think if he wanted to do it, he should have, but I don't think anyone should feel the obligation not to play in a game that they're voted into. I think maybe the rules need to be adjusted where if a guy doesn't play a certain amount of games, then he can't start. But I certainly think Vince Carter should be given credit for what he did.
Jeff, did your concern about upsetting any player that might come back to hurt you later on, did that carry over into the officiating as well?
No, but we do have three outstanding officials here today.
Of course.
And I want to get that in. I don't know who's the best of them all.
It doesn't stop. The officials are Jim Clark, Ted Bernhardt, and Louis Brillo. This an All-Star Game series that dates back to 1951. The first two All-Star games played at the old Boston Garden last season in Philadelphia. The West beat the East 135 to 120. And we're just about set.
Marv, I don't care what Michael wanted. This is how it should be. Michael Jordan should be starting the last All-Star appearance in his career.
Michael, who will celebrate his 40th birthday in 8 days on February the 17th, in his 15th and final NBA season. Tim Duncan, or no, Duncan had stepped in, but Yao Ming will go against Ben Wallace of the Detroit Pistons, and it's controlled by the West. This is Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets in the backcourt with the LA Lakers' Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan of San Antonio, Kevin Garnett of Minnesota opens up the scoring. Francis able to retrieve.
Because of the lineup change, you got Michael Jordan guarding and Kevin Garnett. You see the lob over the top. Yao moving without the ball right to the rim for a lob and finish.
You know, there are any questions.
He can make a perimeter shot. He can post you. He's a matchup nightmare for any coach.
Tracy McGrady. McGrady from downtown. Tracy comes in leading the NBA, averaging...
Finish right there. Matchup on defense. I think you can find Yao on the floor. It's not that hard to find.
Steve Francis with
the white jerseys that are protecting the rim.
And that's a good sign because they're playing competitive. They're not just letting somebody get to the front of the rim.
Oh, what a move by McGrady to the reverse. And the East has opened up one for its first 7. Steal by O'Neal. Iverson behind the back. McGrady was looking for a foul call. Nice pass by Iverson, the West attempt. McGrady's pass broken up. And the quickness of Steve Francis leading to the break. Steve Francis having a...
It moves him out of the center spot into the power forward position.
Iverson. Wallace through the double. Here's Jordan. Jordan again. Excellent play-by-play. As always, too much talk by the color commentator. You pick that up right away. It's about 5:45 a.m. in Shanghai. Oh, Wallace is fouled. Nice pass. Allen Iverson has opened up here as a playmaker. Some nifty passing by Iverson, and once again, the East to the line.
Allen has a good feel with all the white jerseys are going right, but knowing somebody's back there left, he finds Ben Wallace, and then Kobe trying to get it from behind commits the foul.
Ben Wallace at the free throw line has struggled throughout his 7-year NBA career, a 44% foul shooter this season. Ben Wallace of the Detroit Pistons, who have won 4 in a row. They have the 3rd best record in the East. Terrific terrific season for the Pistons. Nice move by Jermaine O'Neal.
He actually feels.
It is a very interesting angle, though, to watch the game from, particularly replays, because you get to see the thing coming right behind the point guard as you come down the floor.
You on the payroll now, then?
I am.
14-10, West with the lead. Stephon Marbury, who just checked in, is able to hit.
And Marv, yes.
Looked at him and laughed. We have participatory fans here in Atlanta. The Jason Kidd of the New Jersey Nets, Brad Miller of the Indiana Pacers have checked in. What a move by Iverson to set it up for Miller. Brad Miller, Travis Best. Steve Nash, who just came on, setting it up for Duncan, rejected by O'Neal. And here comes Kidd. Iverson met by Nash. Iverson, yes.
Well, let's go back to Brad Miller for a second. When we think about free agents at the end of the season, the first two names become Duncan the season. They must re-sign Reggie Miller. Jermaine O'Neal is someone they have to deal with. Then you talk about Michael Jordan finally scoring the basketball. And then Brad Miller, who's had an incredible year as a free agent as well.
Hello, Jeff Van Gundy, Craig Sager, and Cheryl Miller, along with a star-studded crowd, including Denzel Washington. All of they had last season. Fortunately for Miller, Shaq whiffed on the punch.
Yeah, it was an altercation that almost led to the decapitation.
Yes.
Whatever that word is.
Decapitation.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, the Czar. Oh, Jordan missed the stuff. Michael missed his first 7 shots, and he's now 1 of 9 from the field, looking to go at Shaq, and he does. And the ball's knocked out of bounds by O'Neal.
Michael said to Shaq, "You come out here and guard me." Shaq did. So Shaq went out and played him aggressively on defense. We see Michael right there missing the dunk. But Shaq played him pretty well. And then when it went off his foot, Michael said, "Okay, come and do it again."
Now Sean Marion of the Phoenix Suns, who just came on, is guarding Jordan. Michael hits the jumper, and he just said, "About time."
Well, he was in much better.
Will still be very effective in it by throwing bounce passes or chest passes.
Good play by Pierce, leading to this. Iverson. Oh, and he blows the layup. Iverson again. The East with a 23-16. There's the lob that does work. Shaquille O'Neal puts it down.
Good spot, and you know, I mean, he was very respectful. You know, I think he took some undue punishment.
Michael Jordan playing for Isaiah Thomas. You recall in Michael's All-Star day. Oh, Vince Carter on the stuff. And once again the lob, and Sean Marion does it with the reverse. You recall, and then reportedly was Michael's influence. Dirk Nowitzki is able to score. It was Michael influencing the decision that kept Isaiah off the Dream Team in Barcelona in 1992. And of course, over the years, it's been a very fierce rivalry. There has been a degree of tension there, and the scoring is picked up. Once again, it's Nowitzki, and the East now
This far along in their careers now, why shouldn't this thing be buried and put to rest? Isaiah's moved on to his coaching career, a very successful coaching career, and it just happens to
in the second. The East up by 2. They had a 13-0 run back in the first quarter to take the lead. Marion, and it's Sean Marion once again. Sean Marion. Nash and Marbury in the backcourt. Marion able to chase it down, and Nowitzki hits the 3.
That's why he's so difficult to guard.
Allen Iverson sitting down, just 2 of 8 from the field. The West in the midst of a 14-2 run. Vince Carter with the touch, hits from downtown. Burn of the Hornets, who just came on, into the handle, looking for the 3, fires over to Nowitzki. Yes!
He has had a great stretch.
Jason Kidd grew up with Gary Payton, one of his heroes. They both grew up in Oakland, California. Kevin Garnett. Antoine Walker putting one off the glass, intended for Carter. You know, in the first quarter, we saw some defense. We saw actually some nice plays. This has now developed into the playground-style all-star game as Paul Pierce
Certainly responded.
So, are you doing public relations on the side?
No, I'm just being honest about that ambassadors thing, because I think they do a very, very important job for our NBA.
All right, here's Kobe Bryant from down. And Bryant gets it back. Garnett.
Oh, my goodness, a bounce pass. A bounce pass from Kobe that led to a dunk by Kevin Garnett. It can be done the simple way.
Close and personal with Kevin Garnett. Garnett with 8 points now in his 13 minutes. Exciting tandems in the NBA. It's been an excellent turnaround season for the Suns. Mashburn for 3. That's his second. And here comes the West. Payton lobs it for Garnett.
And Kevin Garnett turned.
In the first half, Yao Ming throws the lob for Shaquille O'Neal. And here comes Jordan with Garnett back. Michael Jordan with his 3rd field goal. He has 6 remaining in the half. Duncan.
That was some pass by Steve Francis. Forget about the finish. The finish was easy. The pen,
if he hadn't touched it.
The East up by 1. Yao Ming being guarded by Antoine Walker. Here's Shaquille O'Neal just backing his way on full-point attempt. Garnett is ahead of the field. Shackton Seen went behind the back instead. Duncan for Garnett.
big ball seems to be dominating out here at the moment.
So the West up by 3.
Well, as Michael said from the beginning, he did not want, and it's very difficult, but he did not want this weekend to be all about Michael Jordan, but as
his teammates.
And that the 4th assist for Iverson. Bryant for Francis. Good ball movement by the West, leading to this, an open shot for Francis. Downtown.
Well, that's the type of unselfish play that you'd like to see take place as Iverson takes to the basket and still shows you, Jeff, that he does remember how to score the basketball. Reversing it on the other side.
How about the statement yesterday by Jason Kidd, because is an outstanding second-year player. Duncan is rejected by O'Neal, but Jason Kidd's addition, I would think, would accelerate the possibilities for San Antonio. The Spurs will be well under the salary cap after this season.
You know what's hard to do, Marv, is win and be under the salary cap. The Spurs management has done an outstanding job remaining a championship contender and, as Jason said, knocks down the 3 and still having the ability.
Steve Francis being played now by Allen Iverson, getting the pick from his team, Yao Ming. Now Duncan with the mismatch. And tipped home. Bryant.
We'll just let that offensive goaltending go by for right now, since he put his hand inside the bottom of the rim to finish it.
Here's McGrady. 10 points for Tracy. Off the turnover, Iverson. Yes. That's a 3 for Iverson. The All-Star game 2 years ago. 25 points, 27 minutes at 15 points. And that comeback in the 4th quarter. Kobe Bryant taking to the rim. It counts. And we go to something.
Duncan finding Jason right behind him, finished off by Kobe, and then Kobe staying with it, finishing with the left hand.
Kobe Bryant just 3 of 7 from the field.
Do you think he can eventually be?
Very talented. He has a lot of great fundamental skills. You know, he runs the court well. You know, he plays like a big man. He's a shot blocker.
Shaquille O'Neal of the Los Angeles Lakers, who have won 5 in a row, 13 of their last 17. Kobe Bryant, who comes off the 46-point performance against the Knicks this past Thursday night in New York. Duncan. And back comes the East, a 3-on-1. Tracy McGrady. That's take advantage. Brad Miller able to finish. Nice setup from Allen Iverson.
He's not a
Fortune. I had not only Don Chaney, Willis Reed, but also Cassie Russell, all as my assistant coaches here with the Atlanta Hawks. And Cassie has an inner peace with himself. Really has some things in mind as Shaq finishes with. Oh, the travel is called. It's taken away. No basket for Shaq.
You know, I wish you had that inner peace.
No, Cassie really does. He has a calmness about him, and going to that college he knew would be a challenge. Yet he never was concerned with the fact that it was a small college, art school.
Orlando, Detroit, and Boston, Portland, and then Sunday, 1 o'clock game on ABC, the Philadelphia 76ers and the New Jersey Nets.
The red-hot Portland Trailblazers. How about them right now? Are they playing outstanding basketball? They are right up at the top there in the Western Conference.
Oh, beautiful pass, the backdoor toss from Shaquille O'Neal to his teammate Kobe Bryant.
And O'Neal post passer. He's really improved that from the first time he's come in the league. He's a great passer, particularly against double teams, creating open shots for all Lakers.
Here's Jordan, rejected by O'Neal. And you can hear the reaction from the crowd. They were not happy. Foul
On tonight. Blues and golds and orange and purple.
Right there.
Jeff, getting back to the game. Bryant with the pass to O'Neal. And the West up by 1. That's the change in this third quarter.
You like me talking about metallic finishes, I can tell.
Tracy McGrady.
So the worst shoes, though, I have voting for.
He runs back down. Kobe sticks out his hand to give him a 5. Shaq ignores. He says to his teammate, not right now. Just leave me alone.
Michael Jordan able to hit the fadeaway over Gary Payton. So Jordan checking back into the lineup. And both clubs are on fire. This is the all-time all-star scorer. Incidentally, the commissioner has been on a media tour today. Gary Payton, he's made appearances on every outlet except the Food Channel. He has made the rounds. McGrady from downtown. I don't think the Lakers mind that at all.
Well, there are many that feel that this is a big advantage for the Los Angeles Lakers. Like you, Jeff?
Well, I think that certainly
East over the limit, and Stephon Marbury after the NBA Finals last June until the 4th and final round. Marbury lost it. 4th and final game, I should say. And here is Carter, the crowd looking for they wanted more from Vince. They wanted something out of the slam dunk competition.
I'm not sure Vince wanted to do it or give it
For the Suns, poor year. Marion has stopped, and he was the guy traded for Jason Kidd. And Shaquille O'Neal able to put it down. Looks like Ben Wallace.
the heart of that team. A new addition, Matt Hartring, along with Andre Kirilenko, now coming off the bench, have been the key for them.
And Sean Barrett. Shaq have been waiting all night for that. Jordan changed his mind. A little behind the back maneuver.
Somehow I don't think Phil Jackson's in Montana right now diagramming wing for Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, they say they've tinkered with the offense a little bit in Los Angeles. Maybe that's what they meant.
Stojakovic from downtown. Peja Stojakovic, who last night won his second from Sky Camp. The angle that we're seeing right here. Shaq. Shaquille.
A neat little play because Marbury set the screen close to the lane for O'Neal, an inverted type pick and roll as he's leading the break. Oh, nice look away.
Oh, and Gary Payton is able to finish.
They got to start featuring him more.
We've seen it all tonight from Shaq. Think about it. He's dunked, he's blocked shots, he's isolated on the wing, and he led the fast break and made the system.
That will count, and the foul.
So now you have a 7'1", 20, 40, 60 pounds, taking it, dropping it on the floor, and then the finish at the end for the Western team. Little isolation here, through the legs, trying to show him he's got some tricks. Brad Miller gets a little laugh at him until Shaq starts coming at him.
And a solid game for Allen, kept alive by Stojakovic. Payton. And another offensive rebound. And another. O'Neal powers his way. Ben Wallace.
Shaq, in his own way, has had an outstanding game. He's got 16 points, 12 rebounds, couple block shots.
And how about Tracy? And back comes Jordan. the lead for O'Neal. Nicely done. Jordan. Shot has been off. O'Neal. Iverson. Yes. And the East leading 107-102.
Allen Iverson makes more tough. They have to take advantage of every opportunity they can in transition so that they can get some easy scores, easy look at the basket. They get Jermaine O'Neal running on the floor. This time, Page lays it up. You see Shaq keeping it alive, and then Shaq gets his balance, finishes.
Wallace going to hustle it down. And Bryant, can he get to the dribble? Yes, he does. Gets it to Nash. It counts. And the foul. What a play by Kobe Bryant to race down that loose ball and handle the dribble.
Yeah, he was tightrope walking along the sideline. Then when he saves it, he lands right into a bunch of cameramen down on the baseline. You'll see right here, it winds up landing on top of the camera, but saves it. Nash makes the recovery, and then the finish after the foul.
So Steve Nash, second best free throw shooter in the NBA behind Allen Houston of the Knicks at 92%. At the line, we'll go over to Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot, Marv.
Checking out the action on Chinese television as we showed you earlier. Here's Jordan. Yes. Foul is on Bryant. That's his third.
You know, Michael is actually having fun right now. He really is. He wants to hold on to this lead, win the game with the Eastern Conference, and he's playing very, very hard right now.
And the East has picked up its shooting of the second half. Nowitzki not able to hit from downtown, but Kevin Garnett is there. Jason Kidd. And here's Michael Jordan. 16 for Jordan.
He's got a much better arc and rotation on the ball in the second half. It's up in the air. He's giving himself a chance to make it.
Michael was ready for the fact that Allen Iverson was tracking him the entire time and threw a beautiful bounce pass through the lane. Anticipated.
When Walker, if he was all right, he said, yeah, asked the coach. Isaiah's comment was, it's my team.
Well, Paul Pierce, 13 minutes.
Surgeries he's had on his feet.
Just under 4 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Kobe Bryant tried to extend, could not hit. This is the biggest lead of the night. Here's Jordan with the change of pace. And rejected by Bryant. Jordan.
And you know Kobe took great pleasure in that because of Michael stealing the ball from him from behind before.
So Michael has been blocked twice, once by Shaq, once by Kobe. Garnett gets inside.
But see, that's why.
But Doc Rivers, the coach of Orlando, had a suggestion that you up the ante in the All-Star game and play. Oh, as Kevin Garnett throws it down. Up the ante in the All-Star game and play winner take all.
Well, the winners get $20,000. The losers receive $10,000. Duncan not able to handle that pass. Iverson on the move, whipping by Nowitzki. Allen Iverson protecting the ball on Dirk Nowitzki. Last 6 All-Star games. The West won last year in Philadelphia. Overall, the East with 32 victories. They dominated the West with 19. Here's Jordan with a flip that goes home. And the crowd responds. Bryant being played by Kidd. Can't find the shot. And they need a quick shot here. Duncan. It counts. And the foul.
So like I said,
yes.
Soon we'll be discussing, in case the Western Conference should win, who might you consider as their MVP? A little pass and cut, clear it out, give the big man space, get your defender up in the air, draw the contact, and then he's so long. So now if you're Isaiah Thomas going into this timeout, who are you going to draw up that last shot for?
Well, if you're being sentimental, you're going to Jordan. If you want to win it, go to McGrady.
We'll be back in a moment. Plays it. Jason Kidd will inbound. Jordan guarded by Marion. Checking the clock. Jordan with 4, 3. Not able to hit. Duncan with the rebound. And we go to overtime.
Well, Isaiah certainly gave him the opportunity to be the star at the end of the night. The ball was up on the rim. Michael got a look. He had a tall, active defender on him, which made Michael.
Tracy McGrady leading the East with 25. Allen Iverson has 22.
And it's interesting, Jordan starting overtime on the bench, and O'Neal has now come back in. and they've gone with the big front court again for the East, or the West, I'm sorry.
Francis and Bryant in the backcourt. Garnett, O'Neal, and Duncan up front. Here's Francis. Francis has given the West a 2-point lead. So the West has come back from a 10-point deficit, and they have scored the last 10 points. Iverson met on the switch by O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal. Iverson skying for missed time, but able to get to it. Iverson wide open. Look for the better shot.
I actually thought maybe Allen might try to bank it off the glass.
Of All-Star competition, it's a series that dates back to 1951. Bryant, yes.
Bryant's had an outstanding game. That time, catches the ball, puts it on the floor, suddenly pulls up, and he gets a clean look. And we see Allen Iverson come right back with the finish at the other end.
Allen Iverson, the MVP of the All-Star game 2 years ago, making a strong bid here tonight.
You mentioned the overall game he had been playing while Michael was on the floor. Now Michael goes to the bench. Allen Iverson decides he may have to be the one to be the scorer out there for the East.
No, it's on Duncan. And what's so amazing is how well he finishes in tries. Until you're up next to him, you don't realize how small and slight he is. He's just a great finisher because he can take the hit and still get it up on the board.
Iverson has 29. He scored all 7 East points in the overtime. And Kobe Bryant right back from downtown. The West 129 and the East 7. Iverson for 3. Rebounded by O'Neal. And O'Neal blocked from behind by Kobe Bryant. 21 remaining on the shot clock. Kobe Bryant somehow getting a piece of that shot attempt. Foul committed by the West. Oh, the steal by Bryant took it out of the hands of Kidd. Kobe Bryant. And Kobe with 7 points here.
Competitive spirit that really separates himself. He competes each game, each practice in the summers to get better, and then right there, he didn't just pick any point guard. He picked the best point guard in the game today in Jason Kidd.
Take advantage of mismatches in your favor at the offensive end.
Bryant wants it. Steve Francis from Kobe Bryant.
It's a matter of running the floor, which we know Steve Francis has the ability to certainly go up, catch, and finish. We'll see Steve Francis throw back into Garnett, who has the size of Brady, lifts up, and hits that little 10-foot baseline jump.
East in possession, down by 7. Jason Kidd, nice adjustment by 135-130. The West with the lead after trailing by as many as 10. McGrady, yes. So the West lead is down to 3. Jordan to send the game to overtime. The East had a shot to win it. Michael Jordan was not able to hit. Francis to the crossover, rejected by Jermaine O'Neal. And Jim Clark, the outside official, calls it against the West. It is a loose ball foul.
That was a right arm that I think came from Kevin Garnett and knocks Jason Kidd away from the ball he was going after. First, Steve Francis challenges him. I think, actually, Rick Adelman wanted the ball to go to Kobe Garnett. They wanted to play a 2-man game with Kobe. But then right at the end, after there's the right arm that shoves him off. That's where a loose ball foul is called.
It is on Garnett. It puts Kidd at the line with the West over the limit. And the game is tied at 135. Jason Kidd, an 84% free throw shooter. It's been a strong game for Kidd. 10 points, 10 assists, 5 steals. So the East has come from behind, and they now lead by 1. An 8-0 run by the Eastern Conference. And a timeout is taken.
And they're taking a timeout to try to advance it so they can go 2 for 1, get 2 quality shots.
East, though, has scored 8 straight points to take a 1-point lead. And I've been told by our staff there has never been a double overtime game in All-Star play.
I think a great ending right now would be if they got the ball into Kobe Bryant. He was matched up with Michael Jordan. One-on-one, you're going to see the next the next Michael Jordan, okay, having an opportunity to steal this game from the Michael Jordan.
I've got to go to Duncan against McGrady or Garnett against whoever's guarding him. They've been the two most efficient players.
And Garnett is forced to take a timeout, avoiding the 5-second inbounding violation.
How about that? How many times do you ever see in an all-star game a team work that hard at the defensive end that they force the guy inbounding the pass to take another timeout?
The defensive intensity has really picked up in overtime, last 8 minutes of regulation.
Seconds remaining in overtime. They have the full 24 and get it inbounds. Francis being played by Iverson. The West with the ball down by 1.
You take the foul on Shaq right away.
And they do.
Michael tried to take it. That's what he's pointing at. He tried to take it while he was on the ground. That's what Michael was trying to do.
Well, the East had a foul to give.
Betting on percentages, he's shooting 60 this year. If he only makes 1 or 2, you get the last shot of the game.
2 out of 3 in tonight's game.
Kind of lost the grip as he released it.
Well, maybe you can ask for a do-over, Mark.
Well, I had a do-over last night in the three-point competition.
Yes.
The All-Star game. And there's the head coach of the West, Rick Adelman of the Sacramento Kings. This is his second All-Star coaching appearance in the last 3 years. The Kings had 34-17 at the break. That's the second best record in the West, right behind Dallas.
Well, I thought maybe Isaiah would bring in one more big man to rebound the basketball in case Shaq misses it.
Well, he hits 1 of 2, and the game is tied at 1:36. They have the full clock. And apparently there was a problem with the clock. It just stopped.
The shot clock should be turned off right now. They can run it all the way down.
Well, we're down to 10 seconds remaining in overtime. And Michael has the ball, again guarded by Sean Marion. The fadeaway, yes! With 4 and 8/10 seconds remaining, the West takes a timeout. Michael Jordan, not able to hit the game winner at the end of regulation, has just given the East a 2-point lead.
Marvin, as we see, Michael takes the fadeaway again over the outstretched arm of Sean Marion and just hits an incredible shot right there. Again, we see it. Marion gets up into him. He's going to force him to take a tough shot. The fade, think about the strength you need to get that up. That was his 26th field goal attempt tonight. It takes a lot of energy to get this type of shot up and in.
And at the end of regulation, the West failed to call timeout so they could advance and take a last shot on Jordan's miss. Here they inbounded the ball instead of taking the timeout. Now it's in the backcourt with no timeouts left and only 3 seconds to go.
36 minutes. Bill Russell, among many former All-Stars in the crowd. There's a 13-time All-Star. 3 seconds to go in overtime.
Mark, what happened when Jason Kidd came down for the East, he looked up at the clock and was confused for a second. He pointed to the official because he didn't realize when they inbounded there was 23.1 seconds, under 24. So they only turned on one of the clocks, not both of them. Jason thought that there was a problem, so he almost stopped and was pointing to the official, then continued on. He realized what had happened.
You know, there was a problem with the clock. It stopped momentarily. However, now 3 seconds remaining. Garnett will inbound. The East up by 2. Wallace applying the pressure on the inbound. It's broken up by Kidd, played by Brown, who fires and is fouled. With 1 second remaining, he was fouled in 3-point territory. He'll have 3 shot attempts. Wow.
Jermaine O'Neal looks like from here he runs out, almost a steal by Jason Kidd. Now as Jermaine O'Neal goes for it, right there we see the body contact. It definitely is behind the 3-point line.
Not a smart foul by Jermaine O'Neal as Kobe goes to the line with 1 second remaining in overtime. And now the East lead is one. Kobe Bryant, an 83% free throw shooter. You recall with 10 seconds left in regulation, he missed a free throw. Looking to tie. And now it comes down to the third shot. Michael Jordan goes over. Trying to bother Kobe Bryant.
Surprising, Kobe missed at the end of regulation and now missed here. I would have counted him for all three.
Only 1 second left, and he has tied the game. At 1:38, the East will take a timeout. So much for that Michael Jordan possible game winner with 4.8 remaining, but the East will have another opportunity. We'll made the transition from a decent all-star game to a classic with 1 second remaining in overtime. It will be the East in possession. They do have 1 timeout remaining. The West using its final timeout. And Jason Kidd looking for the catch and shoot right here. He finds Jordan, and the shot this time is blocked by Marion, and for the first time in NBA All-Star history, we go to double overtime.
Well, Sean Marion knew he didn't have to worry about a fake by Michael Jordan. There wasn't enough time once he caught it, so as soon as Michael elevated, he was going up after it.
We'll continue from Atlanta. After Michael Jordan going at Sean Marion, hit a jumper to give the East a 2-point lead. But with 1 second to go, Kobe Bryant was fouled in three-point land by Jermaine O'Neal, hit 2 of the 3. And that puts us at 138 apiece. I don't know if Michael Jordan expected to play in 36 minutes plus, but he's been logging the time. Paul Pierce, though, has come on for Michael. Vince Carter is back. Here's Garnett. Draws the foul. It counts. It's on Carter, and Garnett to the line.
If I was Isaiah Thomas right now, I'd really be worried about this team on the floor. I know he's trying to give guys minutes in the game, but the Western team that's on the floor has been out there. They're warmed up. They're active. You're bringing a couple guys in cold. You're very small right now. This could be a quick 8-zip, 9-0 burst for the Western Conference to start this next overtime.
And because there's no power forward on the floor, Garnett or Duncan.
At the point, he and Steve Francis in the backcourt with Garnett, Duncan, and Marion on the front line. Garnett over Carter, taking advantage of the mismatch.
Vince Carter has no chance.
Stretch had a 7-point lead in the first overtime. They double up on Garnett, forces, and hits. He is on fire. 16 of 20. Iverson with the step. Sets it up for Pierce.
And Marv, I think Isaiah Thomas just asked Michael Jordan, did he want to go back in?
6 minutes, 27 shot attempts, 9 for 27. Francis for 3. The West has opened up an 8-point up in this whole thing. Marion with the steal. Kidd try to get it back. Here's Bryant for 3. Yes. The West has taken over in the second overtime. They have hit all
Hard as they are for Kobe Bryant when he got fouled for the three-pointer and on that shot right there.
I think Rick Adelman is nice move by Iverson. It counts in the foul. Rick Adelman is saying, hey, I like having this guy on my side.
Well, Kevin Garnett, who has the size advantage over Vince Carter, certainly went to work on him. First steps through to get some space and then shoots it right up over the top of him there. And then they go right back again into the post, clear the side of the floor. They got the other high man Duncan up top. Step back. He's got a lot of room to look over the top of Vince Carter.
To Kobe. The lob for Garnett. Ben Wallace lost sight of the ball. Kept it. He changed in the lineup. Shot clock down to 5. Francis. A strong performance in the second overtime by the West. Francis now has 20. Here's Pierce from way downtown. Did he misread the clock? What was that?
He just wanted to show you that he could shoot it from way downtown.
Final seconds. And this one is over. in double OT for the first time in NBA All-Star history.
At halftime in the ceremony that honored Michael, he looked at you bunch of players and said he felt like it was in good hands, that he was basically passing the torch to you. What is the responsibility in your mind?
I think the responsibility falls not only on one single individual. I think, as you see what's behind me, you know, we're in great shape with guys like Tim Duncan, AI, Stephon. You know, the league is full of guys who can carry it, but I think it's going to be a group effort, and I think it's one challenge that we all look up to.
Finally, what is your message for Michael tonight on a night when everybody was thinking about MJ's final appearance here?
Finally be bald head.
Ladies and gentlemen, the MVP of the All-Star game, Kevin Garnett. Back to you, Marv.
Well, the MVP was Kevin Garnett, but the night belonged to Michael Jordan. Getting congratulations now from Kobe Bryant, who made the free throws to send it into the double overtime. You scored more points than anybody in All-Star game history. Talk about the one at the end of overtime that appeared to be the game winner.
Well, I mean, it was a tough shot. They played good defense. I was able to get to my right side and, you know, get off a shot, high arcing shot, and it went in. Thought it was a game winner, but obviously, you know, anything can happen in the NBA game, and that's exactly what happened. You know, Kobe made a couple of free throws. He could have easily made 3 in a row to end the game, but we had a chance to go into overtime, and they had more energy than we did down the stretch.
Did you say anything to Jermaine O'Neal for fouling him on the three-point attempt?
No, I just couldn't believe the referee made that call. No, obviously we were just trying to play hard defense, and those things happen.
How will you remember this All-Star game?
Double overtime, we lost. It was fun. You know, I think I got the chance to enjoy some good young company tonight, and you know, as David Stern said, the NBA is still moving upward, and you can see by the young talent that's playing here, and you know, a lot of talent that's not here. The game's going to be fun to watch for some time, and I look forward to just sitting back and watching and say, you know, I was a part of that group. I was one of the guys who passed it down to those guys, and you know, that's truly a privilege.
As with your teammates, your opponents, the fans, our television audience, it was a pleasure and honor for all of us to be here for your Final One.